Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, the birthplace of congregational humanism. We carry on that tradition of free thought today, dedicated to promoting a free search for truth, meaning, and justice. Our web address is firstunitarian.org. Thank you for joining us.
So good morning, and welcome to First Unitarian Society on this glorious Sunday morning, although a little hot and humid. Wherever you are, from wherever you come, you are welcome here. Whomever you love, however you define family, you are welcome. The identities you hold, how you want to be called, and your pronouns are respected and welcomed here. Whatever the color of your skin, the language your grandparents spoke, the cultures that move in your being, the abilities and disabilities you hold, we welcome you. I'm glad you are here because it is always good to be together. And we are here on this magnificent land that is the cultural, spiritual, and indigenous homeland of the Dakota Iote. We offer gratitude to them and to all of the people who have cared for and continue to care for this land where we now make our home. Let us pledge ourselves to work for reconciliation and reparative relationships. This is work we need to commit to, no matter what. First Unitarian Society is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations. I'm Shelley Schreffler, a member of FUS and a member of the Sundays Assemblies team, and I use she, her pronouns. As you've already experienced, Dilly Dally Alley is with us today. Welcome. That's Denny Carlson on sax, Ben Erlich on bass and drums, or maybe no drums today, just bass, and Mitch Van Laar on trumpet. So welcome. This morning we're joined by Sophia Spiegel, our summer ministerial intern, who will be reflecting on the deep and powerful role of memory, especially the memories of safe spaces we've known throughout our lives. These are not just mental recollections, but embodied experiences woven into our very cells and shaped by our ancient biological inheritance. Sophia will guide us in exploring how these memories are connected to the vast underground networks of fungi and mycelium that sustain life on Earth. Be prepared to bring a memory of a safe space from your life. You will also have the opportunity to take part in helping Sophia create an interactive meditation for this service. So more to come. With your mindful and open participation, we will be tapping into the peace these memories offer and carrying that peace into the present moment, especially in times of stress and uncertainty. If you happen to be new with us this morning, please join us for our weekly mini meal in the lower assembly hall after the service. And if you'd like to connect more, stop by the office to sign up to receive our newsletter so that you can be in the know about what's happening here. We are a multi-generational community, and today is another Sunday summer in the park with FUS. Our young'uns gather downstairs each Sunday before heading out together for some fun and explorations. Youth of all ages are welcome, and you can check with the front office for more information about the schedule and permission slips. And of course, there's always room for families and kids here in the assembly hall. We welcome your movements and your sounds. And if you so choose, childcare is available down the hall and to the left as you exit the space. And now I invite all of you, wherever you are, to take a moment to welcome the morning and to greet those around you. And introduce yourself to those you may not know. And if you'd like, you can wave to the camera to greet all of those folks online. And there's also a QR code on the screen to access the order of service. So welcome all.
Hello there. Let's see.
Oh, that might do it. Yeah, I can't take off. I pressed, okay, great. Yay.
No, it's really reading your lips. Wow. There it is. Okay, awesome. Hey guys.
Well, now I invite you to settle into this time and space. Take a few deep breaths and let go, if only for a moment, whatever happened before this and whatever is happening after this. So as Perry comes to light our chalice, I invite you to read with me the words on the screen, words composed by Sophia. We light this flame to invite presence into the memory we carry, for the memories we hold dear and those we long to forget. for the ones that linger even when the details have faded. They live within our very cells, in the earthen network from which we are shaped, and in the living systems that will remember us when we return to the soil. May this light draw us inward to the presence of our spirit, so that we may be drawn outward into the mysteries that lies beyond. While our chalice flame is lit, and in our hearts, in the space, and wherever we are gathered, let us speak our congregational covenant together. Love is the spirit of this place, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
All right, well, I hope everybody is excited to sing today. There's going to be a lot of it, so please dive in as you see fit, or not. For many, this tune is likely familiar, and for others, it might not be. For those who are looking to use a hymnal, it's number 389 in the gray hymnal. Otherwise, we're going to repeat this a number of times as an invitation to kind of deepen our sense of togetherness. So we're going to be learning this 2 parts as a round. I'm going to be leading those of you on the right side of the hall. And then Denny is going to be leading you on the left side of the hall. So we're going to, which one? Find out. So we're going to sing this all together a couple of times, and then I will cue you guys to start. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour. Gathered here in the mystery of... That make sense? All right, let's hit it. Mm-hmm. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. You guys first. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Spirit
Good morning. The First Unitarian Society is the congregational humanist community. We are here for each other, our neighbors, and our planet. One manifestation of this caring is our caring team. My name is Carol Barclay, and I am a member of that team. There's always both joy and hardship in our midst. If at any time there's something happening in your life and you'd like to share it with the care team or with the community, just please call the FUS office or send a note to joysandconcerns@firstunitarian.org, or you can be in touch with us using the contact form on our website. After the assembly, you are invited to stop past the card basket, and that is downstairs and available to you during mini meal. And you can send a note to folks that you've been especially thinking of today. We have received no specific reports from any one individual, so I would like to share with you all our best wishes for all that are here, and wish that you and yours are happy today. However, it's been another heavy week in the news. In Gaza, humanitarian crisis deepens. Over 1/3 of Palestinians there have gone for more than 3 days without food and clean water, and it's a difficult job to get to those things. Here in the U.S., intense heat waves across the Midwest and East Coast have brought dangerous temperatures above 100 degrees, reminding us not just of climate change as a future threat, but that it is present and unfolding as we speak. And in our political landscape, the ongoing noise of corruption and theatrical headlines can leave us feeling overwhelmed, especially when it distracts from the urgent, lived suffering of people who are too often ignored. Let us hold space for these deep concerns for all who are suffering, and for the strength to remain attentive, compassionate, and courageous in the face of all. Love is the center of this faith. We take this time that we might connect with our shared humanity, to embrace and celebrate the beautiful range of human diversity, to commit ourselves to showing up for those who need support, and to remember all those who are suffering here and around the world. Thank you.
So in the quiet that follows, I'm going to invite you to settle into a stillness with a few deep and steady breaths. So breathe in, breathe out. And as you breathe, let your heart open up into the fullness of your life. Its joys, its sorrows, its milestones, its losses. Feel free to close your eyes or lower your gaze if you feel comfortable. Now feel those joys and sorrows, the milestones, losses in your life. Feel the echoes of those. Carry the same kinds of pulses in all living beings, everywhere. Grief, celebration, fear, and hope, they're all woven into the shared fabric of our human experience. After a little time, imagine where within you these memories live. Is there a place in your heart that holds them? Picture a space, a physical space. This is real or imagined, where these memories feel safe and welcome. Maybe this is a place from your past, or maybe this is somewhere that your spirit just longs for. Ask yourself, when have you felt such wholeness that your own well-being seemed to ripple outward, touching every other being? When has your grief connected you to the grief of others? When has a dream of yours felt like it belonged to the whole world? Let that scene take shape in your mind. The safest place you can imagine. Is it a place you've been before? Is it like a cozy room, like a sunlit garden, somewhere in a park somewhere? Or is it somewhere vast, wondrous, imagined, like a mountaintop or sitting along the lakeshore, the crack of dawn? So as you kind of enter into that space, just pick one. Notice where you are in that place. Are you sitting? Are you lying down? Are you leaning back? What surrounds you? Is there a breeze? Is there warm rays of sunlight? Is there a hush of twilight? Crickets? What sounds? What other sounds accompany you? Is it bird songs? Rustling leaves? Soft voices? Quiet fire? Is there anybody with you? Is it a beloved friend? Cherished parent? A future self? Or maybe you're just alone. As you sink into this space, I want this to be an imagined moment that becomes real through its connection, not just with yourself, but to those you remember and love, to those you hold in memory, in longing, in the life you remember, in those around you, those in your past, present, and future. I'll let you guys rest here for a couple minutes. Check, check. 1, 2. Check, check. Oh, wonderful. There we go. Okay. So, in the name of celebrating our interconnectedness, that's the theme of this month, I'm going to try and create a little network in real time with you guys. If you guys walked in and noticed some sheets of paper back there on the stand, the secret hope was that you would take those sheets, and if you haven't, either ask a friend next to you to share, or if there's a kind soul who can maybe distribute to those who didn't get them, that would be really helpful. Yeah, thank you guys. So I have restructured the UU hymn For the Earth Forever Turning into an interactive kind of vamp. So together, we're going to build a little soundscape that mimics the ecologies that we interact with in our health vibe. So you're going to find this half sheet of paper. Take a quick look. You guys are going to be responsible for the top line, and you guys are going to be responsible for the bottom line. For those of you who can read music, it's pretty repetitive and hopefully relatively easy to take on. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. For those of you who can't read music, it's pretty repetitive and easy to take on. So we're just going to go over it enough where it feels good, okay? So when we do this exercise, I want you to think about how these phrases are going to unfold when we repeat them enough for it to sink into our bones. All while simultaneously being able to hear your neighbor sing a different phrase that's kind of the second half of the original text, and see how it kind of refracts your own phrase in a generative way by hearing your partner sing the other one. Could this kind of repetition be mimicking kind of an ecosystem where a purpose doesn't really truly unfold until it forms a relationship with its partner phrase? That's kind of the question I'm asking you guys. So this is something that I worked on the end of this last semester, and it was kind of after reading about Emily Dickinson's whole shtick about a finite infinitude, a space where either through looping or vamping or the repetition of phrases and its interaction with one another can feel endless in its potential, but it's deeply anchored in time and finitude. So how we're going to do this, you guys are going to repeat after me, all right? So it's going to sound like this. For the earth forever turning. Can you repeat after me? For the earth forever turning. Okay, you guys are going to go like this. For the skies for every sea. Ready, go. For the skies for every sea. Yeah. Okay, the second two lines are going to be the exact same. Okay, so you're going to do for our lives, for all we cherish, for the mountains, hills, and pastures. All right, measure 13 is where you guys got to pay attention. Repeat after me. For the stars, for all the heavens. Repeat after me. 1, 2. For the stars, for all the heavens. You guys sound great. All right, you guys, that last line, measure 13, we're going to sing like this. Ready, go. Sing, we are joyful, song of peace. Ready, go. Sing, we are joyful, song of peace. Great. Okay, do you guys want to try it all together? Let's just do it. We're going to skip the repeats, and then we're going to do it all over again after kind of creating a little interactive other thing, okay? We ready? Okay, so you guys are going to start. All right, ready, go. For the earth forever, every sea. Great job. Sing, we are joyful, song of peace. You guys sound Sing, we are joyful, song of peace. Well done. The same exact thing happens at the back, the other half of the sheet. So you guys are going to do it again. But first, we're going to create a little ecosystem up here. So we're going to try and add some maybe textures and sounds that we might hear in an ecosystem first. So I'd like a few brave souls to maybe help me out with this. I'm going to create a loop for us to start. I'm going to slowly turn this up. And it's going to sound like this.
For our wisdom moment this morning, Sophia picked out a Mary Oliver poem entitled Trout Lilies, describing a quest for knowledge about trout lilies and finding instead a critical gap between what she could find in her books and what she actually found tucked next to a creek behind her childhood home. In the text, Oliver describes this memory. Though it's vague and with details that are hard to comprehend, she finds it a great source of resilience throughout her life. It happened I couldn't find in all my books more than a picture and a few words concerning the trout lily. So I shut my eyes and let the darkness come in and roll me back. The old creek began to sing in my ears as it rolled along, like the hair of spring, and the young girl I used to be heard it also. As she came swinging into the woods, truant from everything as usual, except the clear globe of the day and its beautiful details. And she stopped where the first trout lilies of the year had sprung from the ground, with their spotted bodies and their 6-antlered bright faces and their many red tongues. If she spoke to them, I don't remember what she said. And if they kindly answered, it's a gift that can't be broken by giving it away. All I know is there was a light that lingered for hours under her eyelids that made a difference when she went back to a difficult house at the end of the day.
Okay, thanks guys for interacting with me on that. That was a bit of an experiment, so I appreciate your willful participation. I hope it was at least interesting. And with all of that, I guess if you haven't already guessed it, I am inviting you to reflect on safe spaces today. What they mean, how we remember them, how we forget about them, and how we might recreate them together in community like this. This is often a deeply personal journey, but it's also essential to how we care for ourselves, how we care for one another. And safe spaces aren't just for human beings. Remembering them can take root in ecological contexts too, whether you're a person or a squirrel or even a mushroom. So bear with me. Let's think back to our meditation, the first one, when I had you guys bring to mind a safe space. What was it like for your body to live in that memory? Did your mind recall every single detail? Who here remembers every single detail of the safe space they were thinking of? Every single one? Who here thinks that they remember the most details about their safe space out of everybody in the room? All right, we have a lot of humble folks here. Who here may have forgotten some of the details? I'm hoping for a good deal of hand raises here. Okay, thank you for being honest with yourselves and helping me make a point here that in recalling a memory of your safe space, you may be wondering to yourself in that meditation, what exactly was that squirrel doing next to that tree I was sitting up against in that park that I think was called Great River Falls, or maybe it was called Glendalough State Park, or was it even a squirrel, or was it a cat, or did it even happen, or who was there with me? How much am I making this up? Of course, it's ridiculous to try and remember every detail, even the details of our most cherished memories. Of course we don't remember every detail. Remembering every detail is both impossible and maybe even not that important. And unexpectedly, as memory starts to blur, as those vivid images of safe spaces fade into these vignettes and shift over time, sometimes they become even more cherished, even more precious. It's kind of weird how that happens. Maybe you have a friend or an uncle who tells the same story year after year at Thanksgiving or a holiday, and with each telling, a new, slightly more magical, more dramatic detail emerges or gets added in. That kind of nostalgic distortion, it's not just charming, it's not just accidental, it's actually rooted in our biology, which I'm going to dive into later in this reflection. But for now, what I want you to hold on to is this. Getting too caught up in the exact details of safe spaces can pull us away from what truly matters. What truly matters is how those spaces make us feel. So, calling to mind a safe space, regardless of how precise that memory is, can create a small oasis within us. It gives us permission for our bodies to rest, to soften, to settle into a sense of belonging with ourselves, even just for a moment. And memory lives not in the accuracy of these details, but in our cellular makeup, in the ways that our bodies remember what it feels like to be safe. And cultivating this kind of cellular memory is a powerful way to reconnect with ourselves, with those we love, with our communities, with the earth, even when the specifics can escape us. So as you heard in Mary Oliver's Trout Lily, our wisdom moment for today, Oliver is also struggling to remember all of the details of her safe space. So we know it's in the forest near the creek with the trout lilies behind her house that she lived in when she was a child. When she brings it up, she's recalling it with some distance. She's referring to her child self almost in observation, describing, if she spoke to them, I don't remember what she said. And if they kindly answered, it's a gift that can't be broken by giving it away. I found that particular line, it's a gift that can't be broken by giving it away, the most thought-provoking about that poem. And I found it provoking because it was confusing to me why it was considered a gift to forget what Mary Oliver's younger self might have heard from the trout lilies. Wouldn't the memory be even more beautiful if we knew exactly what they said? Or is it something sacred to forgetting the details and allowing the trout lilies to hold a secret message, one that even Oliver with age can no longer recall? It's in that transformation when our memories shift from these clear, factual accounts into these hazy vignettes that something deeper emerges. When the edges blur and the figures in our past take on a sort of watercolor texture, and the simple account of Oliver next to the creek becomes symbolic. The trout lilies in Oliver's poem are those alluring secret keepers that, by virtue of being locked away in childhood memory, over time can transform from trout lilies into seers or prophets. In this way, memory is not about accuracy. It thrives on that vagueness, on revision, on the mystery that it keeps to itself. So I kind of remember these vignettes in childhood, wandering through little patches of nature. Maybe you do too. As a young girl, I remember playing with my best friend Jenny in the little forest behind my backyard. And even though the forest was pretty small, we could create these really massive imaginary worlds for ourselves. Sometimes we'd play hide and seek. Sometimes, embarrassed to admit, we would reenact scenes from Harry Potter or serenade the flowers with Coldplay songs. Whatever cringy things or phases that we were going through at the time. Other times we'd pluck mushrooms, fallen leaves, squiggling worms, tiny twigs, and taking great delight in arranging them around bark plates to make mud pizzas for our friends. And our friends could be anybody from the tadpoles we were scooping up with our hands, or any given stick or rock that had a strangely human-like feature. Or honestly, I don't even really specifically remember who our friends were. But I know that their spirits dwelled in the life that surrounded us. The acorns, the mushrooms, the rocks, the trees, and all the things that were lingering around our scenes of play. These were characters that had this kind of age-old prudence to them, and how they chimed into our discussion. And what lied completely beyond our imagination, then and now, was that this world, in fact, did talk back to us. And not just in some imaginary way. We weren't just feeding our mud pizzas to the squirrels and the birds. This mud pizza that we made was fated to also be feasted on by tiny bugs, and even tinier fungi, and even tinier microorganisms that digest and process flesh of decaying bark and rock. Now, obviously, mud pizza tastes really, really bad, and it's medically not edible to humans, and I don't recommend eating dirt or worms. But boy, I really relish in these memories with Jenny. I almost enjoy these memories as if I'm recalling eating real pizza. And it wouldn't matter if I recalled every detail of that pizza edible or not, because even if I could, I wouldn't even know half the creatures who were present for said feast. It doesn't matter. The joy that remains from the memory of this experience, eating mud pizza, infuses my present life with an overwhelming sense of joy and innocence that has the power to carry me through my day. And even if I really did strive to get to the bottom of what was really going on behind the scenes of mud pizzas with Jenny, I mean, it's almost impossible to really imagine how many little beings eventually did feast on this pizza when we did not. Mycologists, those are mushroom scientists, estimate that you can find on average 70 miles of mycelial networks, those are fungal networks, in just a pound of soil. Just think of that, it's like a pound of coffee. Some might argue that the little hyphae capping the tips of these networks have such sensitivity, such spatial intelligence, such conscience, and rapid ability to exchange information with other networks, that they are comparable to the minds of animals, including our own. These are mysteriously sentient networks that can expand up to 7 square miles within one organism, up to hundreds, sometimes thousands of square miles across mycelial biomes. Crazy, beyond anything we could imagine. And imagining the intelligence and the ubiquity of fungi almost feels as impossible as that task I asked you to do in the first place, is accurately piecing together memories of our childhood. Fungi are regenerators, recyclers, networkers that stitch our worlds together, but our memories do that too. Memories are safe spaces. They're providing whole networks of information in our minds that restore us and form the fabric of our worlds, even if they're still beyond our comprehension. Memories of playing outside as a kid are etched into our mind by feelings of soil under our nails, or the razor bite and the scraping of knees. These are the kinds of memories that get increasingly difficult to come by when that sterile adulthood creeps in. So throughout our adult lives, safe spaces can often echo the sentiments of childlike joy that often can feel a little bit too out of reach. These are childhood memories that are slipping into those parables, but they can be preserved flawlessly in our bodies, even while being chiseled and eroded over time. They're more than just physical locations, right? They can be imagined, but they can also represent times where we felt secured, loved, free to be our authentic selves. When we're doing okay and life is good, remembering a safe space isn't something we have to try really hard to recall. Our muscles, our nervous systems, even our heartbeats are attuned to our intake of sensation. And when those sensations are distilled into an experience, those safe spaces imprint onto our bodies, just like how fungal networks stretch their fingers into the soil. The act of memory is embedded in our ancient biological history, but it is also critical for ourselves and feeling like we belong to this world. In many ways, mushrooms function like this massive memory store for the planet. And this indeed has some scientific grounded. Everything that mycelium digests, including ourselves, what we eat, what we waste, are stored in their stacks of DNA. They harvest our phosphorus, scores of other nutrients to use as bidding and nurturing tools for plants and other species. Imagine each moment of mycelial digestion sparking a tiny explosion of excitement or disgust or confusion when it's forming itself on how to best metabolize us and the world around it. This must be memory. This must be a kind of care we just don't really know the language of yet. And I want to acknowledge also that there are some details in both our personal and collective memory that must never be forgotten. To lose a memory of a loved one, their smile, the exact words of comfort they offered before passing, can sometimes feel more painful than the loss itself. On a larger scale, forgetting crucial details can accelerate the destruction of communities, of biomes, of species, of ecosystems. Though memory of human cruelty can never fully be erased, it's disturbing how persistently those in power try to obscure it. Some memories, paradoxically, become heavier the more we try to forget them. And you might be asking, we're talking so much about safe spaces in the world we live in. What safe spaces are actually remaining in physical life in a world that feels so fractured sometimes? Can we build new sanctuaries without erasing the memory of those we lost? The dreams deferred, the havens destroyed, the lives extinguished along the way? The more suffering the world endures, the harder it becomes to access a sense of safety, even within ourselves. Our memories of refuge, both personal and collective, are often fragile, incomplete. And yet, I wonder, might the earth remember for us? Might the soil, the trees, the ground beneath our feet hold the imprint of what we forget? Fungi, which takes up most of the planet's living mass, and arguably most of its relationships, most of its consciousness, perhaps remembers everything it touches, hears, consumes. Fungi's relationship with us is as old as time, and yet it also feels startlingly new, full of untapped potential, at least with what we know about it. To connect with it, though, we have to slow down. Cole Arthur Riley writes, memory is frail. It requires a delicate touch, a tenderness. It's asking us to pause, to sit in the gentle quiet of our thoughts, so that the safest, most loving moments we've lived in can surface, woven out of muscle and breath, to replenish and restore us. To nurture a tender relationship with our safest memories is to equip ourselves with the strength to face the darkest paths, the darkest parts of our histories, both personal and collective. In times of stress and uncertainty, we have the ability to root ourselves in those remembered spaces of safety, returning to them not just in thought, but in body, drawing from that deep well of peace that they can provide. The exact details don't really matter. We've acknowledged memory will fail us, always, inevitably, but our bodies are the things that are going to hold what we cannot name. Within us are cellular networks, wisdom grown over millennia, that store memory in ways we may never fully understand. And when we allow ourselves to rest in those remembered sanctuaries, sometimes we can feel that vast, quiet presence. Perhaps what's most profound is not just that we're connected to them, but that they are just as deeply connected to us. So when I finish this reflection, I really truly hope you don't remember every word I've said. I do hope that you carry with you the warmth that may have arose in your body when I asked you to dive into your safe space today. I hope you remember that it exists not only in memory, but right here, right now. And that safe space exists with the millions of other safe spaces around the world, even when they feel impossibly far away. Let it be so. So we're going to be singing Blue Boat Home. And as you sing that, I invite you to call into presence your memory of safety, not only in your mind, but in your body, in the bodies around you, in the land, in the vast networks of life that surround us, just as mycelial networks store, share, and carry wisdom through forests and soil. We too carry the memories of those where we felt held and known and safe. This song is talking about a journey across the vastness of the universe, guided by star and wind and sea. Reminds us that even in constant motion, we can root ourselves in the memory of connection. So I invite you to please rise in body or in spirit. If you're holding a teal songbook, it's number 1064 in the teal hymnal. Take it away, guys. All right, ready, go. Though we feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry start. Ready? Go! I give thanks to the waves upholding me, and the great winds urging me on. Creep the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbored or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue
Hello, my name's Julie Stewart, and I serve on your Board of Trustees. Several years ago, I was looking around for a way to deepen my connection here and lit upon the idea of becoming a board member. There would have probably been easier ways to get involved, but never mind that. The year I joined, I was the only new board member, serving with 8 veterans who already knew the ropes. The officers were not changing, everybody still had their committee assignments from the previous year, and there was only one committee slot to fill, to chair the nominating committee. With no real choice in the matter, I gamely volunteered. A couple of years later, I'm still chairing the nominating committee, and it's been such fun. It's very rewarding to see people you've had a hand in recruiting joining you at the table and witnessing the new dimensions they bring to our discussions. I'm feeling very optimistic about FUS right now. Yes, we have our challenges, but I see a lot of activity humming along in good directions. We've got a tremendous foundation built with FUS's distinguished history and our many longtime elder statesmen and stateswomen. We've got exciting new constituencies with the people coming in. We've got our ministerial search team in place. We're going to be experimenting with a bold new advertising campaign in September, and I, for one, can't wait to see how we develop over the next few years. And to make all this happen, our financial support is essential. First Unitarian Society is a free, independent, and self-governing humanist community. As members and friends of this community, we share the gifts of our time and energy, our creativity, our imagination and vision, our talents, our skills, and our treasure. Your financial support is an important element in turning our shared vision into reality. As the baskets are passed, you are invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. You can use the QR code on the screen, which will take you to our online giving form, or you can stop by the office or mail in your donation. And please feel free to reach out to us with any questions about giving to First Unitarian Society. Thank you.
Well, on to announcements. So First Unitarian Society is up to an unusually high number of programs and activities this summer, and we'd love to have you get involved. Today, next Sunday, August 3rd, and again August 17th, Lily Benowitz and Heather Martens will be conducting a program series titled Meeting the Moment, a set of social justice nourishment labs with assistance from Rev. Yulin and Sophia Spiegel. Meeting the Moment is a series of gatherings designed to support those deeply engaged in social justice work, as well as those seeking meaningful ways to get involved. Each session will offer a space for learning, creative expression, and authentic connection, nourishing both the spirit and the collective imagination. With a unique theme at the heart of each gathering, participants will explore social justice through reflection, dialogue, and embodied practice. So we'll see you in the Upper Assembly Hall today at 12:15, next Sunday, and August 17th. If you would like to join by Zoom, please email the office at firstunitarian.org to get the Zoom link. The Songs for Justice Day Camp is officially a go. If you have a 5th to 8th grader who might be interested in participating, it isn't too late. The camp will go from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Tuesday, August 19th. If you think your child might be interested, or if you'd like to hear more, please talk to Zola after the assembly or email her at zola@firstunitarian.org. Are you an adult who likes singing with your community? Do you like writing music? Are you interested in exploring a range of protest song writing forms? Ethical Education Director Zola Rosenfeld, Media Content Coordinator Jacob Mullis, and Ministerial Intern Sophia Spiegel are offering to lead an engaging session on these topics on a date to be determined in the last week of August. There was an interest form sent out with this week's Friday's email, but if you didn't receive that, you can ask Bethany at the front desk and she will send it to you. If you're not here in person, I hope you can go out and enjoy the rest of the afternoon, hopefully by sharing time with friends. And for those of you who are here in person, please join us downstairs shortly for a mini meal. Today, Bob Jandro is our head chef, and the menu is chicken with sage stuffing, breakfast bagel sandwiches, and what I'm really looking forward to, blueberry apple buckle a la mode. Note that lunch is pay what you can, and if you can put in a little extra, that helps make it possible for us to provide lunch for visitors and those who are unable to contribute today. So now, as we close, let's thank everyone for their joyful and capable participation of so many. First of all, I'd like to thank the band. Our incredible staff, Jacob with the tech crew, the cooks and their helpers, our greeters, Perry, Julie, Carol, and so many others. We need each other, and we need to remember the light in one another. So in that spirit, let's extinguish our chalice. Please join Perry and me in speaking the words on the screen. Though we extinguish this flame, we do not extinguish the memories it carries. May its fading light open us to the new memories still forming. The memory of this chalice lives in our bones, glowing in imagination, in parallel worlds, in the quiet hope of what regenerates after decay, and in the stories that root those cycles in forever.
All right, please join me in the closing words, "Some Things Will Never Change" by Thomas Wolfe. So I'm going to read the Roman text, and I'm going to invite you to respond with the italicized words. So, some things will never change. I wonder where, is there no text? Okay, well, I'm just going to read the whole thing then. Great, perfect. And just imagine, I'll do square quotes for you guys now. Some things will never change. Some things will always be the same. Repeat after me. Lean down your ear upon the earth and listen. The voice of forest water in the night, a woman's laughter in the dark, the clean, hard rattle of raked gravel, the cricketing stitch of midday and hot meadows, the delicate web of children's voices in bright air. These things will never change. The glitter of sunlight on roughened water, the glory of stars, the innocence of morning, the smell of the sea in harbors. These things will always be the same. The feathery blur and smoky buddings of young boughs, and something there that comes and goes and never can be captured. The thorn of spring, the sharp and tongueless cry. These things will never change. The leaf, the blade, the flower, the wind that cries and sleeps and wakes again. The trees whose stiff arms clash and tremble in the dark, and the dust of lovers long since buried in the earth. All things belonging to the earth will never change. All things proceeding from the earth to seasons, all things that lapse and change and come again upon the earth. These things will always be the same, for they come up from the earth that never changes. They go back into the earth that lasts forever. Only the earth endures, but it endures forever. The tarantula, the adder, and the asp will also never change. Pain and death will always be the same. But under the pavements trembling like a pulse, under the buildings trembling like a cry, under the waste of time, under the hoof of the beast, above the broken bones of cities, there will be something growing like a flower. Something bursting from the earth again, forever deathless, faithful, coming into life again. Take all of this into your hearts. Then go and rejoice in the power of the free and interconnected human spirit. Go in peace, everybody. May it be so. Thanks for sitting through an hour and 20-minute long service.